Well, hello, and here we go again. Once again, our church staff, and this time in conjunction with our Administrative Business Council, has come to the painful decision to discontinue our church's worship services and other activities due to the recent spike in the coronavirus cases in our area and all across our state. I cannot put into words how difficult this decision was for all of us. It was, for me, even more difficult than the decision to shut down back in March because, well, for one thing, we've already done this. We've been there, done that. And also because I believe churches are meant to be together. And one of the things that makes a church is physical togetherness. But given all of the circumstances and the realities that we're having to face, we do feel that this is the right and most prudent decision at this time. And I'm sharing these thoughts with you because I primarily want to further explain to you why we made this decision and what brought us to the point of deciding to close once again. First of all is the fact that we have learned that in recent weeks, 3 members of our church have tested positive for the virus and have been on campus recently. I know of one large church in our association that shut down after finding only 1 case of someone testing positive and coming on campus. We have had 3. And we don't want to expose our people to unnecessary risk, and therefore we felt that closing the services was the best thing to do. Also, we always monitor our church's attendance at the Sunday morning worship gatherings, and we've noticed that over the past 5 Sundays, attendance at the gatherings has dropped by 61 people, or about 20% of total attendance. And we suspect that that is because people are watching the news and are aware of the uptick in coronavirus cases and are just choosing to hunker down and to avoid unnecessary exposure. And we suspect that that trend is only going to continue to go downward until the spike has ended and things are looking better for our area. And also, I'm sure you are aware that our Goose Creek mayor recently signed a declaration requiring that persons who visit local businesses, commercial establishments, wear masks. And our church staff had already decided that we would require or request that our members wear masks when they attend worship services. But I called the mayor's office and found that his requirement extends to churches. And although we believe fully and support the wearing of masks, especially at this time, we're also aware that asking people to wear a mask when they attend worship would probably only further drive down attendance, because a lot of folks would simply think, well, if I have to wear a mask to church, I just won't attend. I'll watch it by video. And so when we put all of those factors together and weighed out all of the pros and cons, we came to the decision this was the best move for us to make at this time. And although we understand that every member of our church has the right to choose not to attend public worship in our worship center, we also know that by simply offering public worship on Sunday, we are encouraging people to come and be present, to attend. And we don't want to encourage people to expose themselves to unnecessary risk. And at this time, we have no way of knowing how long this shutdown may last. It may last longer than the previous shutdown. We just don't know. We still want to assure you that we will monitor the situation and will reopen our church as soon as we feel that it is safe to do so. We want our church to be meeting in the worship center on Sunday morning as much as anyone in our congregation, and we'll get to that point as soon as we possibly can. We are also exploring options for some creative ways, new ways of ministering to our church during the shutdown, and we will announce those ministries if and when we decide to enact them. And I plan to resume preaching by video and posting them as we did during the previous shutdown. And of course, Andy will continue to minister to our children and our youth by way of video. Now, before I close, what are some things that you can do to help yourself, to help your family, and to help your church during our church's closure? Well, I want to offer you 4 suggestions. First of all, stay connected with your church. And the best way to do that is to watch the sermon videos. I encourage you to do that. It's not like being at church on Sunday morning with your church family. I totally get that. But at least we have the technology to provide the sermons by video, and it'll help you stay connected with your church through that virtual experience of worship. Secondly, stay informed. And the best way to do that is by reading the weekly update that we post on our church's website. We commit to keep the update current and informative, and we believe in keeping our church abreast of everything that we do and why we do it and how we're going to do it. And that'll all be available on the website through the update. Also, I recommend and encourage you to cultivate your relationship with God throughout the shutdown. If you don't have a devotional guide, you might want to swing by the church's Building B and pick up one of those in our literature rack, and have a time in Scripture every day and pray every day. We do that under any circumstances, but especially when you're not able to be physically present with your church on Sundays and other times. And then also I ask you to just simply be understanding. Your church staff struggles to do the very best thing and to choose the right course of action anytime we face a crisis. And of course, you know that God has not parted the skies and told pastors and staff what to do in response to the virus. And therefore, we simply must pray, consider all of the options, and make the decision. And if we err at all, we choose to err on the side of caution rather than carelessness. But we do believe this is the right thing to do given the circumstances that we're all facing right now. And I just want to thank you for being so very understanding. We have felt so much support and have received comments, emails, and letters from our church family thanking us for doing the best we know how during all of this. And we cannot tell you as a staff how much that has meant to us. We want to do the right thing. We believe we are doing the right thing, and it helps to know that you're behind us as we make these most difficult decisions. We will get through this together as a church, and we will come out of it stronger as a church than when we went into it. And I can't wait to see what God's going to do next. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.